Well, I'm super excited to be with Lainey this week. Lainey is one of our high schoolers, and I'm super excited to get to have her share today and just share what God's been teaching her and having her work through during this time. And so, Lainey, before we jump in, though, one thing I've been asking everyone who shares is just give us two quick things about you as we get to know each other more. One, tell us how long your family has been a part of Lex City, and then two, tell us one fun thing about you.
Okay, so my mom's kind of been there since the start, and she told me 21 years, so that seems like a long time. But
OG.
then she brought my dad into it, and then they fell in love and had me. So, and then Cooper sometime down the line. But so I guess she's been there since the start, and then I've been going all my life. So, and then something fun is that me and Cooper, when we were little, we used to read Captain Underpants. And we have the whole set. And when Mother's Day a few years ago, the author Dave Pelkey was at Joseph Beth, and he signed all of our copies. And so the lady there was like, only 2 copies. And so we were like, we have all these books. And he's like, I signed all of them. So that's just something fun that I thought of.
That is so cool. First of all, I've never met someone who even had all of them, let alone signed all the copies of Captain Underpants. That is probably one of the coolest things I've heard so far. What is the best book of the whole series? If you only could read one Captain Underpants book.
I don't know what it's called. I know I have it. Let me see.
Okay.
Okay, these titles are everything. Captain Underpants and the Terrifying Return of the Tippy Tinkle Trousers.
All right.
It goes back to the start, I think. That was my favorite.
That's so awesome. I love that so much. Well, cool, Lainey. Well, thanks for being on tonight. I'm anxious. The fun thing about this Youth Online is been able to let some of our students and some of our small group leaders just kind of share what God's been teaching them during this time. And so I'd love to kind of give you the floor to just share with us kind of what you've been walking through and what God's been teaching you through this quarantine time. So I will hand it to you to take it away.
So one thing I've been doing is that when I find myself getting worried or stressed, like about my friends don't like me after quarantine because I've been texting them so much because I'm so extroverted, or worrying about school and like stressing about that. And I've even found myself starting to get a little scared about after quarantine, like when we all get back together, because I know I get sick easily, and like I've kind of been scared about, am I going to get sick or is my family going to get sick? So I had a friend recommend to me to read Psalm 91, which having a friend to keep you accountable is, I know, something we talk about in my small group a lot, but just being able to have that person, if it's a friend or your small group leader or a parent or whatever, to just keep you accountable and help you through when we can't all to be together, but we need to be there for each other. So having that person is really like been something that's been helping me through all this. But she recommended I read Psalm 91, and I'm just going to go ahead and hop in and read that. And it says, "Those who live in the shelter of the Most High will find rest in the shadow of the Almighty. This I declare about the Lord. He alone is my refuge, my place of safety. He is my God, and I trust him. For he will rescue you from every trap and protect you from the deadly disease. He will cover you with his feathers. He will shelter you with his wings. His faithful promises are your armor and protection. Do not be afraid of the terrors of the night, nor the arrow that flies in the day. Do not dread the disease that stalks in the darkness, nor the disaster that strikes in midday. Though 1,000 fall at your side, though 10,000 are dying around you, these evils will not touch you. Just open your eyes and see how the wicked are punished. If you make the Lord your refuge, if you make the Most High your shelter, no evil will conquer you, no plague will come near your home, for he will order his angels to protect you wherever you go. They will hold you up with their hands so that you won't even hurt your foot on a stone. You will trample upon lions and cobras. You will pierce lions and serpents under your feet. The Lord says, I will rescue those who love me and protect those who trust in my name. When they call upon me, I will answer. I will be with them in trouble. I will rescue and honor them. I will reward them with a long life and give them my salvation." So just being able to like trust in him and put your fears and worries at his feet and just like devote yourself to him, and knowing that we're going to get through this, and that like I can like be calm and like know I'm going to be okay.
Yeah, that's good. I think I love that verse because it's so like a lot of times the Bible, I feel like, uses really extreme language to like kind of make its point. And like I love that verse is like, if you trust God, like he'll literally make it so you don't even step on something that would hurt
Yeah.
your feet. And like, so like obviously we don't believe that following God and trusting God means that like
You're
no
not gonna
single
stub your
bad thing's
toe.
ever
Yeah.
gonna, yeah. So like for you, like why is that verse so encouraging to you, especially during this time? Like how is that just, obviously we're not thinking that nothing bad will happen, but how does it
Yeah.
help you have confidence that he's going to take care of you?
Just like even knowing from my past when I've had times to trust in him, like seeing how it works and then kind of seeing why it is now, like reading this and like fitting them together kind of and seeing like, hey, if I purposely do this and if I like do this for him and like not I'm not doing this like I'm going to follow him so I'm protected from the disease. Not like that, but just like trusting that hey, I don't have to worry because like he's my God. Like I don't have to think about this 24/7 and just like having that security.
Yeah, no, I think that's so good. I think that's a great way to kind of understand that verse of like, hey, like like you said, he's my God. Like he's got my back. Like if I can just trust him, like sure, some things are going to slip in, but he's going to protect me. Like he's not going to give me more than I can handle. He's not going to let me walk into stuff that's going to, destroy me or my family. And it's just, I think that's a cool way to think about it for sure.
So I went ahead and read on to 92, and I'm just going to read the first few lines. It talks about thankfulness and just being able to like stop and thank God. So the first few lines says, "It is good to give thanks to the Lord, to sing praises to the Most High. It is good to proclaim your unfailing love in the morning, your faithfulness in the evening, accompanied by a 10-stringed instrument, a harp, and the melody of a lyre." So I know, like, when I'm worrying, I read Psalm 91. But, like, even in the good times, just, like, sitting around watching Netflix, like, I can pause and thank God for, like, I know I love the rain. So, like, recently, all this rain, I just thank him because, like, it's so calming and I just love it. But so even little things like that, finding time to, like, thank him and look at the bright side, especially when we're all stressed out about what's going on.
What is like a positive benefit of living this like way of being thankful for God, or like why is it so important that we remain thankful to God and express that to him?
I know that it helps me think about like the bright side and like not only ask God for things like but also thanks to him for what he's given me and just being able to like see what he's done for me and thank him for what I have.
That's good. Have you found for yourself, like if someone's wanting to work on like this idea of being thankful to God, has there been anything that you've been able to do, or like how do you practically remember to be like thankful to God?
Well, I know I talk about it in my small group a lot, but I have a gratitude journal and you don't have to have a specific thing that tells you what to do. But like for example, mine today says like we all worry about the bad stuff, but like what are 10 things you like about yourself? So like even just writing 10 things I like about myself and then thanking God for them, like doing that, or you can just sit and think about it. You don't have to write it down, but finding a time to sit down and be thankful and thank God for something you have, for that makes you happy.
Yeah, I think that's great. That's super helpful. Let me just kind of ask this final question for you. When things, I feel like, I think you did a really good job explaining like that it's important that we stay thankful all the time when things are going good, to like still pause and just be thankful. What about when things aren't going good, or when you are like in the midst of being super stressful? Like how have you been able to remind yourself to kind of pause, and even though things aren't great right now, still be able to find those things to thank God for?
Um, I know I struggle like um with worrying about what other people think about me and that like or like being stressed about school. So like in hard times like that, I think about what I do have and like the friends that do like me and um the things I do have, like good grades or thinking this is just me being harsh on myself. It's not like what actual people think about me. But like thanking him for the talents he's given me to be able to work hard and get good grades. But also like there's those hard times when I've got like no understanding of pre-cal. So like just being able to remember that, hey, this isn't really like all that bad, and being able to thank him for like helping me realize the true situation.
Yeah, I think that's super good. I think super practical and helpful. And I think even the way you talk is like, we can tell that that's something that you have made a habit of and that you're good at doing. And so I think that's a great encouragement to us of like, if we can create this habit of whether it's a thankful journal or having something that can remind us what it looks like to be thankful, like if we develop that habit, then even when we are going through stuff that is hard, like we're just used to learning how to be thankful. And I think you did a good job of explaining like just perspective. Like, yes, like this right now really stinks, or I'm not understanding this, but there's so much stuff that I have going well, or there's so much stuff that I am happy about that God has given me. And I think that's a good way to just kind of have that perspective for sure.
And also even just finding something that does make you happy every time. Like when I wake up in the morning, I turn on K-Love because I know I'm going to be in a good mood. So as soon as I wake up, I go to the radio and I turn it on, and like that's just how I start my day. I choose to like look at the bright side instead of like wake up and like just choosing it and finding that one thing that's gonna like make sure you're feeling it.
Well, awesome, Lainey. Thank you just so much for sharing that. I can tell that that's something that you're passionate about and that God's really been just teaching you, and you're a great example of like what it looks like to be someone who is thankful and knows how to live a life of thankfulness. So thank you for sharing that. And I think it's going to be super practical for all of us as we continue to just get through this quarantine time and learn how to look at what's going well and what we are thankful for amidst all the stuff that we aren't super happy about right now.